Hi everyone. My name is Ciara. I'm with Google Malaysia, and I'm really honored to share the stage with so many amazing females that have shared their stories. I feel really inspired, and I hope that you feel the same as well. Now today, I'm here to share with you how Google has come a long way to help people like you and me that love to travel. There are many apps, features, and tech that we have built to actually help to enhance our traveling experience better. Now, about a bit more about myself. I am a traveler, and I love to travel. It's been a passion of mine since I was a little kid. To me, traveling all these years has been an investment for me because moments of discovery through traveling has been really, really fulfilling. And as the saying goes, it's better to see something once than listening about it 1,000 times. And this has kept me motivated to travel all this time. And also, it has helped me to discover many different parts of the world, culture, people, and it helps me to discover myself as well. Now, I'm really, really lucky to have a super cool mom who has a huge adventurous spirit and has shared many traveling moments with me. So this is us traveling many different parts of the world. She has been my traveling buddy since I was 14. And this is the one thing that really keeps our relationship strong and keeps our bond together, and I'm very grateful for that. Now, apart from my mom, I also have all these people that have shared many traveling memories together with me. And it's funny, because across all these trips that have been, regardless it's solo trip, traveling for work, with my family or my friends, I am consistently the person that puts the itinerary together, from the detail of planning my flights, booking the hotel, even helping them to find out what to do, how to get from one place to another. It's really funny. I'm not sure why I'm always the person to do it. It's by default. But that's okay, because I have all the right apps, tools, and features that help me to do so. And I'm going to walk you through how I did it. Okay. Now, I think many of us here, I'm sure, who here use search almost every single day? Can I see a show of hands? Woohoo, that's cool. So same goes, when I don't know an answer to something, when I don't know anything, I'll probably say, Google it, lol. So one question that keeps popping in my mind often is, where should I go next? Where would my next adventure be? I go to search to look for inspiration to where to travel next, based on what I want to do, even though I have a bucket list. Say, for example, I want to see snow, I want to see sakura blossom, or I want to visit Vatican City. All these things I have in mind, but I don't know exactly how I do it. So search really helps me. So personally, I go to search to look for reviews, sample of itineraries, when is the best time to travel? So personally, these are the most important to me. I hope it's the same for you, that you are able to find inspiration from there. All you need to do is really to put in whatever question you have in mind on the search bar, and you have thousands of answers out there for you. Now, after you have selected your destination, immediately what you think of is two main things, right? How do you get there? And where do you stay when you're there? So these two key things, you can actually do it via Google Travel. Have you guys heard of Google Travel? No? Okay, I'm going to talk to you about Google Travel a bit. So Google Travel, it has a few features. It has discovery. It allows you to figure out when you are there at the destination, what you should do, what are the must-visits and must-dos. But I think personally, I find that the most important ones are really the flights and the hotels bit, because there is no need for you to go to multiple different websites to compare, because Google helps you to aggregate all the results and share with you the best recommendation that you need. Based on the preference, you can filter it, and then you're able to find what is suited best for you based on the price you want to pay, when you want to travel, and how. So I'm going to talk a bit about, so this is what the interface looks like. You can check it out after the session. It's really easy to use. All you need to do is really just to put the destination, and you can navigate around, very user-friendly. I'm going to talk a bit about Google Flights and what's really cool about it. So Google Flights, all you need to do is put in where you want to fly from, where you want to fly to, when do you want to fly, and it will show you recommended flights, airlines, and the price range based on what you need. I think the coolest bit is really, if you have the flexibility on when to travel, it will show you the price graph across all the different airlines, and it will show you the most affordable time to travel. So with that, you can actually able to identify when you want to travel best based on the price point that you want to pay. Now, Google Hotels. So in one single view, you're able to navigate from flights to hotel, and you can book it directly there. So Google Hotels help you to also filter where you want to stay. And I think the best part is you can see photos, reviews, and ratings in Google Hotels. And then when you have selected the hotel that you want to stay, it will also tell you the landmarks that are available around the hotel that you have selected. So in this way, you're able to evaluate whether the hotel you have selected, is it strategic or not? Would it cost you more time to travel from one place to another? And you can change the area that you want to stay in easily within the platform. Cool. So, yeah. Now, when you already have your destination check, you have selected your flights, you have selected your hotels, so what's next, right? The next one is really to plan for your trip. Okay, how many of you go to YouTube every day? Can I see a show of hands? Wow, that's a lot of hands. That's really great. So I just want to share with you two key things that we realized why Malaysians go to YouTube. The first one is entertainment. The second thing is really to learn something, right? It is the platform that connects you with thousands of other people out there who share the same interests, and you can learn from each and every one of them. So I think YouTube is a place to go where you want to find tips and tricks to travel. Personally, the three most important things that I care about when I travel, when I prep for it, is how much do I pack, how much do I put in my bag, how do I pack efficiently and smartly, and being really able to identify what are essentials and what are really nice to have that I would not be able to use actually in my trip. So I want to share with you one of my favorite videos later, but really whatever you want to find on YouTube, all you need to do is really to put in the question that you have, and you will be able to find thousands of videos that's available for you to get tips and tricks from. I'm going to play you my favorite video. This method of packing has worked really, really well for me. It maximizes my luggage space, and I've tried many different methods. This is the one that I swear by. I love it.
So I start with the heavier items like the hoodies, my pants, and then putting my tops in there. As you can see, I'm always like rearranging because it's like a game of Tetris. There's no right way to do it. You just put in whatever works. So I've put in all my clothes basically. I like to put all my clothes on one side of the luggage, and the other side I leave for like accessories and miscellaneous stuff. So this vertical packing method is my favorite. That way I can kind of look at my luggage and see everything at a glance. It's like looking into your closet. So on the other side, I'm packing my coats because I know I have a lot of extra space here. So I'm also putting in the shoes and all the miscellaneous items like electronics, toiletries, and makeup. So there's a lot of extra space in here because
So basically, what you need to do is really to fold it vertically and then put it in your bag, and you can arrange it according to the size. So I think the quick trick here is what I've learned. You need to fold them into consistent same size so that you can arrange them, like the video said, like Tetris. Try it. I think it works. It has worked really, really well for me. Now, next, I want to share with you, when you land at the destination that you want to be, what are the three main apps that you really need in your phone to help you to enhance your experience, traveling experience better? So I think Ray and Risa has already mentioned a bit about Google Maps and Google Translate. I want to share more with you as well on these two apps because it's really useful for travelers like us, especially when we travel alone. Now, these three apps that I'm about to share with you would be Google Maps, Google Translate, and Google Lens. So how many of you, again, here use Google Maps when you travel? That's really cool. So I just want to share with you all the key features today. The first one is definitely, so Google Maps, as you know, it will help you to navigate from one place to another. That's like the biggest feature that you need to know about Google Maps. The second thing is, you are actually able to pin all the locations that you are about to visit. And how I did it is, this is an example of how I did it for my road trip in New Zealand. What I did was, I pinned all the locations that I want to visit, I color code them, and I put together my itinerary based on the colors, and I cover them in a single day. So that I save time from commuting too far away from one place to another. In that way, I'm able to actually identify by which day I'm covering which area during my road trip. So this is easily done. All you need to do is put in the search bar up there where you want to visit, and you just pin it and you color code it accordingly. The next part is, so we have recently launched the AR feature on Google Maps. What it basically does is, it also helps you to navigate around, but whatever you see on your phone is the reality with added arrows. Basically, you will never ever miss a junction, because what you see on your screen right now is what you see in real life as well. And consistently, there will be blue buttons on the screen that helps you navigate left and right. It will prompt you to turn if you're going to turn to the other direction if you're going to the wrong way. So try it if you are, especially if you're in countries where there are many junctions and like sidewalks. This is really, really helpful for you. Okay. Now, Google Translate. So just now, I'm sure all of you have already tried the app, which is great. So I think, personally, I think many years back, I was very afraid to travel to countries that I do not speak the language, and I can't read the language. But with Google Translate now, I've started to open up to more countries. I've visited countries that I do not speak the language, like Japan, Korea, to Europe. This has really saved my life, because all I need to do is really to launch the app, scan the text that I want to translate, and choose the language that I want to translate to. So back then, I would only probably travel to English-speaking countries or Chinese-speaking countries where I can communicate with the locals. But now, I have traveled way more beyond all these countries that speak only these limited few languages. So happened last week, I was in Korea. I hardly could find any signs that are actually bilingual in both English and Korea. So this app has actually helped me a lot throughout my journey. I can order food, I can get onto the right bus and train. I could even communicate with the local to tell them what I need or where I want to go. So this has really saved my life. So I'm just going to show you a video of like how I did it. So see what it says. It says soy sauce ribs, Korean beef, and what is this? Beef sirloin and beef ribs. Awesome. So yeah, basically every single menu in the restaurants that I've been, they look like that. They are only available in one language. So I was having a hard time until I had to use this app in every single destination that I went. So worry not, next time when you travel in a country where you can't speak a language, this function would help you, and it will go a long way. And you can really experience the local culture. You can go into, like small restaurants that do not speak the language. You can easily communicate with them. Yeah. Okay, Google Lens. Anyone know what Google Lens is? I see some head shakings, one hands up. So Google Lens, okay, if you think about it, Google Translate is for text, Google Lens is for images. So Google Lens, what it tells you is what the object that you're scanning with your camera, what is it about? Basically, there is just so much that we can learn or to know about before we reach our destination when we travel, right? There's just so much information and history behind all these landmarks that you're about to visit. So when you are there traveling, you're at the landmark and you want to find out more, simply just open your Google Lens and scan the building. It will tell you opening hours, reviews, show you more photos, and even tell you the history behind where you're at. And in that, it really would enhance your experience and immerse in the culture to where you are at. Not only landmarks that you can do this, if you are in a place where you do not recognize, say for example, I don't know, a fruit, a veggie, You can also scan it with Google Lens, and it will tell you what exactly it is without trying to struggle to ask the local people, what is this? And they are also having a hard time to explain it to you. So Google Lens really solve all these problems, and it will not worry like you don't know enough of the place that you're visiting. So I think the last feature that I want to share with you today is Google Assistant. Anyone used Google Assistant before? I see a few hands. That's really cool. Do you guys use it on Google Home or on your phone? Google Home? Yeah, that's nice. Basically, Google Assistant, for those of you who are not familiar, Google Assistant is basically a search function that you can use by enabling it through your voice. Basically, you can ask, "Hey Google," and tell it what to do. So Google Assistant can help you do many different things, not only showing you search results, it will also perform tasks on your mobile for you. Personally, every single day, I would tell OK Google to set my alarm clock before I go to bed. I would tell it to play my music, and also sometimes when I'm bored, I will ask Google Assistant to tell me a joke. Now, when you're traveling, I think these two key things are super important. It will tell you, you can say, "Hey Google, can you tell me the weather today?" Then you can be more prepared whether you need an umbrella, what are the right shoes that you should wear, is it gonna rain, is it gonna have, I don't know, thunder or storm, and you can be more well prepared for the day before you embark on your journey on that day. And yeah, Google Assistant can also be your go-to place to be your wake-up call. So you can set the alarm and just say, "Hey Google, wake me up at 8 a.m. So it will help you to set your alarm on your phone instantly. Now, there's one more key thing that I always use Google Assistant for, which is help me in my currency exchange when I'm traveling. So to give you a bit of context, I was traveling in Korea. 1,000 Korean won is actually 3 ringgit and 50 cents. I am definitely not one of them that can do mental math. I can't calculate in my head without the calculator. So what I do is I would just say, "Hey Google, can you tell me how much is 50,000 won in ringgit?" So I'm just going to show you a video of how I did it.
Okay, Google, how much is 50,000 won in ringgit?
50,000 Korean won equals 174 Malaysian ringgit and 84 cent.
Thank you.
So basically, everywhere I go, when I'm about to buy something, I do not need to scramble with my calculator, figuring out how to calculate from one currency to another, because easily Google Assistant would tell me how much I would pay in ringgit to give me a bit of context, how expensive or how cheap the item would be. Yeah, I think I understand traveling solo as a female might not be easy. There are a lot more things that we need to care about, especially our safety. We need to be alert all the time, because when we are alone in another country, especially when we are traveling alone, there is nobody for us to fall back into immediately, right? So today I'm introducing all these features and apps. Hopefully it will help you to travel better and more efficiently, and you can actually spend less time figuring out how to not get lost and finding your way back, because Google Maps is here to help you, Google Translate is here to help you communicate with locals, and Google Lens will really help you enhance where you're at and what's the culture like in the destination that you choose. So I hope all these features, tech, and tricks that I've shared with you are useful, and hopefully it will help you to travel better. And again, my name is Ciara, and thank you so much.